I gotta do another gig, man. I gotta do another gig, man. Yeah, can I do a gig? Yeah, I need to go to a gig. I'm trying to get my New Zealand accent down. Not for any reason, I just think it's objectively the funniest. It's the funniest accent to have. It's hilarious. But that's how I get into it. I have to say the word gig. I'm not good at impressions. I'm not good at accents. I don't have an accent. You know, I don't want anyone knowing where I'm from, just from the way I say the word car. And I'll tell you the way I say it. Car. The warm-up that I use to remember just my normal accent, the vocal warm-up I use is Stinky cheese disease. So if you want to do an impression of me, just say Stinky cheese disease, Stinky cheese disease, Stinky cheese disease. Say this 3 times in a mirror, and then you better have a priest on speed dial because it's gonna get ugly when the stinky cheese disease comes for you. So now that I'm warmed up, I can tell you, I can start the show. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Just once, and look at the way they look clasped together. I want you to hold that clap in your hand and keep that clap for the duration of the podcast. I don't care if you're driving, and I don't care if you're giving birth. If you're hearing this right now, I'm told I have a lot of people giving birth listening. Don't do that. Listen to Enya. Frankly, I'm just fearful of what that would do, and I don't want to get blamed. I get enough going on. I don't want to be making a whole generation of just really annoying babies. They would be annoying. I don't think they would be bad. They would just be annoying. And it would start as at the baby stage. You ever met an annoying baby? You're like, can you just leave? Like, the baby's in the room, you're like, I just need a break from you right now. I hope nothing I said was offensive. I'm too tired to go back and check. If there's anything you heard you didn't like, you're free to edit my Wikipedia page and just add it in under the controversy section. I'll just catch up on that weekly. That's how I know what my transgressions are. What I think I'd like to know now, which maybe you can look this up on Wikipedia, is how actually notable do you have to be for them to not automatically remove any new page you make about yourself? Is there any safeguard, or can just everyone just have their own Wikipedia page? And you can like decorate it like it's like, you know, MySpace. You can have autoplay Blink-182 on your Wikipedia. Like every 5 to 10 minutes there are new entries for just Brendan. No last name, just all these Brendans are like, Brendan is a cool fucking guy. He rides motorbikes during the week, and he rides regular bikes during the weekend. His first word was crayon, and his hobby is getting fucked up and going for chicken and waffles. And the other Brendans see that page, they're like, this isn't right, this doesn't describe me at all. And so unknowingly, they're all editing the wrong Brendan's pages, and they're all getting mixed up. Nobody knows anything about the Brendans. The Brendans actually feel like they know less about themselves because of this horrible mix-up. And then, you know, later on, they eventually decide to just become one Brendan. So they all have the same Wikipedia page. That way it's easy to see which Brendan is the best one. Isn't that the point of Wikipedia? Like, you're supposed to compare the stuff. Like, oh, this is much worse than the other thing I was reading about. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 random Wikipedia articles, and I'm going to decide which thing is better. So the first one I got is list of Olympic venues in wrestling. It says, for the Summer Olympics, there are 29 venues that have been or will be used for wrestling. So let's see what the other thing is that it's going to randomly generate. Ellen Webster was an Australian politician. I don't think this segment has as much promise as I thought it would. I really was hoping that when I refreshed it, it was just going to be Hitler. I really would, because that would have made it so easy. Ellen Webster, I guess, is better than wrestling. She seems fine. I'm reading about her. She seems fine. She has probably done more than wrestling venues have for the world. So now we're going to take another pair. I guess I just have to commit to this. So I'm going to take another pair of random articles and I'm going to decide which one is better. Green Afghanistan One-Day Cup. Afghanistan Cricket Board introduces a new domestic one-day event called Green Afghanistan One-Day Cup. It seems good. It seems like if you're in Afghanistan, it's good to have a one-day cup, whatever it is. It's good to have it. You need something. So let's see what the next thing is. I hope it's not a Hitler or what did I say? Oh, Rotorua Boys High School. It's a state school educating boys from year 9 to year 13. It's at the intersection of Old Topo Road and Pakwata Street in New Zealand. I gotta go to a gig there. So, okay. So it gets points for New Zealand because that's relevant. It's a boys' high school, so it's like, why? So that loses points for that. So I'm gonna give it to the Afghanistan One-Day Cup. Yep. Okay. Let's give it another old roll of the dice. Giri River is a tributary of the Yamuna River that flows in the state of Himachal Pradesh in India. I'm one click away from seeing it with my own eyeballs from a satellite. Let me drop my little man in there. If you use Google, you know what I'm talking about? I'm dropping my little man. I got a pretty good feel for that river now. But is it good in comparison to the next thing? Which is cucurbitacin delta 23 reductase. It's an enzyme that catalyzes the chemical reaction. And I'm trying to tell you something so you can know what it even is. Like a section where it's like, well, what's it done for me lately? There's this particular one doesn't seem to have really made much of a contribution in my own life. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is used to help tape be sticky or something. But if that's the case, it should be on Wikipedia. So I don't think it makes tape sticky. I don't think it does shit. It says at the end it employs one cofactor, manganese. So it's got somebody working for it? It can't even do anything on its own. It needs manganese. Look, am I understanding this correctly? Look, I don't know what it means to be employing a cofactor. I don't know what it means. So if I said the wrong thing, once again, that's going to be another entry in the controversy section, which doesn't exist, but you can create it if you can find out more about me. But just a hint, you can't use Wikipedia because that's the whole point. I have an IMDb. I have a Spotify. I have a Frogify. It's one where I get to be a frog for $5.99 a month. I used the trial. I was a frog for 14 days. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget being a frog. Is there anything else I need to do here? So I'll just I'll do one more of these because this has been a hit so far. This is making Glass Johnson eye me with jealousy because even at his best, he wasn't doing anything at my level. My browser history looks so weird now. It's just like these random coordinates in an African country on Google Maps, and then it's a Wikipedia article for manganese and other various chemicals. It just seems like whatever I'm doing, I'm up to no good. But then you see in my history it says Wikipedia random, and you're like, oh, this guy was just looking at random shit on Wikipedia. Like an idiot. Like someone who doesn't even know how to obtain knowledge. It's like walking into a giant university and they're like, we'll tell you literally anything you need to know. You're like, I don't know, just whatever you have, whatever makes sense, whatever you got on tap. And then they reach out and they give you a book, and the cover of the book says, David Einhorn, a rabbi. He was a German rabbi and leader of Reform Judaism in the United States. Writing and preaching in German, Rabbi Einhorn denounced slavery as a moral evil. In April of 1861, after preaching a sermon against slavery, Einhorn was driven out of Baltimore by a pro-slavery mob. He fled to Philadelphia and became rabbi of a Reform congregation, Knesset Israel. That's crazy. I guess that's a pretty high bar. What exactly is going to top this? Well, I'll tell you what. KC Radio, 97.7 FM, sound of the southeast. You know it, you love it. It's from Melbourne, Australia. As community broadcaster, KC Radio's role is to provide general local community programming, including entertainment, news, and information, and aims to inform, entertain, and involve its listeners. It wants to marry its listeners. It thinks about its listeners 24/7. It's creepy. So that's why KC Radio, it says that in the article. KC Radio? Don't think so. I think it's going to be that old shriveled rabbi. And did he do some bad things in his life? I hope not, because I didn't scroll all the way down. At worst, I'll say maybe he had some problematic faves. But I don't know. I'm just making that up. Isn't that kind of what all of social media is about? You kind of start with the attitude of like, oh, I'm just going to believe whatever I believe until I'm proven wrong. But what ends up happening is you believe whatever you want to believe up until the point someone either shames you or tricks you out of your prior belief. I think your most evolved state was when you were a baby. The first mistake I ever made was saying goo goo gaga. I never should have done it. Should have kept my mouth shut, you know? I should have thought about it a little more. Next time I want to be speaking right away. I want to be like, hello. Not like eloquently or anything, but just able to communicate. Like, hey, I'm here. Let's get started. I hope that we don't have to go through that again. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you lose your memory, you should just be like, this time, be like, I'll remember this one, and then I'll know it's a simulation. It was a simulation the whole time. I mean, this incarnation, not really too bad. So I think if I had to do this again, so far, yeah, but I don't know. Hopefully, I don't get eaten by like a troll tomorrow. I don't know why that's the first death I thought of. I was just like, oh yeah, I would definitely get eaten by a troll if that was, like, not like hit by a bus. What are you gonna do against a troll, realistically? You're not taking it down without help. Unless it's Harry Potter world, then you can shoot a laser out of your wand. You can go pew pew. You could go pew pew at those things the whole time. Year one, they're like, here's how to make a feather go up. And then you realize, oh, they have weapons. They're armed. They can just kill each other. But there must be some kind of like protective ward over the Hogwarts campus that prevents the activation of certain spells. So that's easy problem to solve. It's magic. You can just make everything up. Is magic real? Yes. I'm doing it right now. I'm closing my eyes. I'm imagining a shape in my mind. It's a cube. It's a perfect cube. I can see it. It's almost like I can reach out and touch it. It's almost like I can taste it. It's a surefire way to know a cube is by taste. Look, I'm kind of ashamed to admit this, because I was at a low point in my life, but I one time ate a Rubik's Cube. And you will never guess what happened when I went to the bathroom. Let's just say it all came through, and that thing was solved. My digestive system is smarter than I am. It solved the Rubik's Cube. It's really incredible what the kind of world we live in. So is magic real? Well, I'll let you decide. So now I have to bring out Slurp Fun Lipstick. He checks the time. He tells you what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lord of Time. It is Slurp Von Lipstick. Give it up. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, notice anything different about me? That's right, I'm standing up. And I just need to do calf raises. That's why I'm doing this. So, I went to my doctor recently and he took a look at my calves and he said they look like shit. That's all he said. He didn't do anything else. He didn't do any of the things you do to physical. He just said, hey, roll up your pant leg, let's see the calves. And I guess they weren't good. And that's what he wrote, that they look like shit on the form. I don't think it was a real doctor. Today's time is actually brought to you by a little startup I got going on the side. This is just a pop-up restaurant where we sell bagels, and inside the bagel, there's just 3 little dollops of mayonnaise. We don't toast it, we don't do anything. It's incredibly popular, people love it. It's just two halves of a bagel and 3 little dots of mayonnaise. You rub the bagel together really fast and then serve it. We call it the wet lady, and it's just become a big thing. It's one of those things where they like it because it sucks. By the way, that's all we serve. Oh, we also sell cigarettes. You can buy cigarettes at the checkout. If you order a cigarette and a wet lady at the same time, they call that a hobo breakfast. And I think it's offensive. I don't think they should say that. Look, I don't need any more heat, you know. My own Wikipedia page, there were multiple explicit references to an incident which occurred to me, which was a misunderstanding on stage. I did a time tour. I did a tour where I came to your town and I told you what time it is. A lot of people say I was like casually chanting spells at the show in Boise, and I was saying the spells to a clock that was made of a strange kind of rock that no one could determine the origin of. And that I summoned a time demon, and the time demon said it was going to make time go by faster from now on. A lot of people think that's what happened. And a lot of people said, we literally saw the demon, and he said what he was going to do. Like, I just want to set the record straight. That wasn't a time demon. That was just my cousin. It was a goof. It was a joke. But I keep trying to go on Wikipedia and changing it. But they won't let me because they say it's misinformation. They keep giving me links to these New York Times articles where people took pictures of the demon, and the demon went around and was like doing interviews and stuff and saying, yeah, time's going faster now, so buckle up, you fucking idiots. That was all my cousin. Just spend a little time vetting people, spend a little time fact checking. Because as far as I'm concerned, time is moving the same as it always has. I mean, right now it's 9:34 p.m. and that feels just right. So there's no time demon, so stop tweeting me about it. This segment of Time Check is brought to you. Yeah, that's right, there's segments of Time Check now. It's a whole thing. Next segment, which is brought to you by Nilla Wafers. Ever had one? You know, if you've had them, give us a shout, give us a call, let us know what you think of wafers. This is Time Check. This is the second segment of Time Check. This is a permanent thing now. We got Gricket. Gricket, tell me what your favorite thing is about wafers, Nilla wafers.
They're round, and my mouth is too, which tells me that somebody really put thought into this Nilla wafer. They made it the right shape.
Right, because if it were like, say, for example, like the shape of a cube, that'd be pretty difficult going down. You think that might hurt, right?
Oh, why? That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Okay, Gricket is out of the picture. Just hung up on him. And if anybody else enjoys wafers, keep it to yourself. You know what's a really great treat is wafers and banana pudding. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong if you've got wafers and banana pudding in your life. I think that was pretty much the message, that was really the point I wanted to get to, and now that I've got it, I'll just say you can catch me in Cincinnati next weekend. I'm doing Time Check Live. There's a full backing band. There's a different clock made out of a different mysterious material, which a lot of people have been saying he's trying to use that clock to undo the previous curse that he put on the earth, but it won't admit to it. No, I don't think it works like that. And even if it does, there's only a 75% chance that it will work, I was told. But that's not even what I'm doing anyway. So it doesn't matter. The odds don't matter. Thanks for coming to Time Check. If you look under your seats, I didn't put anything there. If there's something there, I wouldn't touch it. It probably belongs to somebody else. Thank you for coming out. Thank you. Another time check in the books. Give it up. Why don't we give him another round of applause? Oh, okay. Nobody. I mean, I guess it's optional. But it's always good to have another time check in the books. I don't know what these books are that we're putting everything into. Is anybody reading the book? It doesn't seem like anyone's going back and reading what we're putting in there. And my entire life in the book of life is a little footnote. And it just says, oh yeah, this guy was alive too. And I'm glad it's just a footnote, because that way it couldn't fit the entire controversy section that's on my Wikipedia. I think if there was one thing that I would put in the book of life, if you could only put like one memory into it, I think I would pick my very first memory, which was being like 3 years old. And the visual is just an air conditioning vent in my living room. And I don't really have a sense memory of it, but I just have the knowledge of like, I pooped my pants there. That's what was happening to me. And I know this, I've confirmed this with my parents, and that's the first memory I have. So it's like, have you ever shit yourself so hard you become sentient? Do you ever have a bowel movement that's like, it just flicks the switch? It's like, here we go. Starting off with this. Here's the origin story, here's this guy's the boy who lived in a cupboard under the stairs. Except he didn't live under the stairs, he just shit himself right in front of us, like a dope. You shit yourself like a dope, bud. I wish that's what my dad had said to me. I don't think he did, though. That would be kind of rude. Don't call me a dope, I don't know what's going on. At least I wasn't annoying. Well, I was a really good baby, and then when I grew up a little bit, in my like early toddler years, I would just tear my clothes off and I would run around the house screaming naked like a crazy animal. When I think about being that young, it just makes me feel like when people talk about time going by so fast and life passing by before your eyes, on one level, I guess I relate to that, but on another level, I just feel like I've been alive forever. If I had to die at this moment, I wouldn't look forward to it, but I would also be like, yeah, that seems like it's pretty much enough. I mean, and I'm saying this as someone who actually enjoys their own life. But another part of me was like, oh, yeah, I get it. I get the life. I didn't do it's not like I did everything there is to do. It's like, what am I comparing it to? Like every single thing that there is to do? So am I supposed to measure my success rate as a human by like quantifying my experiences, like the more the better? Because that seems like a game that's impossible to win, because you'll never do a 100% completion run of life. So then what do you do if it's not quantity? Is it quality? It's a good question, and I'll answer that question. But first I want to tell you about our sponsors, which are, let's just see what they are real quick. Our sponsors today is Mitromorpha undulata, which is a species of sea snail, a marine gastropod mollusk in the family Mitromorphidae. So I want to give a big shout out to Mitromorpha undulata and sea snails of all kinds for making the show possible. I don't know how it was arranged. I don't know if they used like snail money, but if it's coming in their mail, it's going to take forever. Probably 5 to 10 business days. Snails, look into Venmo. See, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was talking about life and how to live it correctly and not like a dope. So that's important. Life is important. Unless I can put life human life, existence in general, if I can pit that against something Wikipedia throws at me, I'd be willing to reconsider. Maybe life isn't that great if I can find something better. All right, Dominican Republic at the 2023 Parapan American Games. Is that better than life? I think that's where I'll leave you for this week. And next week, I'm not going to be here. I got my fill in Glass Johnson. He's been doing it. You're not going to notice a difference. It's going to sound exactly like me. It's going to sound like a normal show. But it's going to be Glass Johnson doing it. He's been working on his impression, haven't you, buddy? All right, I'm gonna put him in front of the mic now, and he can, as practice, as a little bit of a warm up for next week. I'll let him do the sign off. Okay, Glass Johnson, what do you have to say? Yeah, sorry, bud. Yeah, those are just water noises. You just sound like glass with water in it. Dude, you gotta be ready by next week. I'm not giving him a job I don't think he can do, just to make him look like a total dope. I like that word now. I'm becoming Joe Biden. I wouldn't do that. I have too much respect for Glass Johnson. I would have no reason to suddenly grow resentful of him because he's here every episode and he barely contributes anything. And I just want to destroy him now, and that's all I think about day and night, and I have dreams about it as well. I have dreams of walking through long, dark stone hallways, and they're covered with shards of glass. And I know that those shards are those of Glass Johnson. I don't know what it means. I'm going to therapy. I'm going to a psychologist. Well, that's going to do it for me this week. Bye!